Hey guys, and welcome back. So we're gonna go ahead and grab the last things I can really think of for this build. I'm pretty thorough, and I'm pretty sure there's actually nothing else that's really at all important to this build. Now I'm gonna pick up some skulls here, some alluring skulls, and they're actually kind of cool items. Because as you can see, it draws enemies towards it, and with no attention to whether or not it makes sense, enemies will follow it. You can see that guy's throwing his fire bombs at the wall too, so they have a really big range. So they're just kind of a fun item. If an enemy isn't already focused on you, and you throw it within, like, 200 feet or whatever, it will get their attention and they'll walk towards it, or if they're a range type enemy, they will attack it from range. So it can be useful in some select situations if you get kind of clever with it. So following that path, you can pick up the Curse Bite Ring, and you'll want to Homeward Bone Out. My Poise saves me there. We can use that to fight Seath if you want it. Not really necessary. I'm not going to use it since I have some humanity on me. But it's an option for you guys. And now, right here, at this part, I didn't do it this way, but here's what you'll want to do. If you don't want to progress normally through here, go ahead and jump down on the right there. It's an easy jump. It'll bring you down here, and it's the quickest way to get to this to continue. We're coming back to the catacombs because we're going to kill all the necromancers. Down there is the Great Scythe if you're interested. But we want to kill all the necromancers because the last one always drops a skull lantern. And so here's one that we haven't gotten yet. And then go ahead, turn around, jump out the hole in the wall. Because we're going to trade the skull lantern to Snuggly for the Ring of Fog, which is the other ring, the last ring that can be really useful for this build at Soul Level 1. Allows you to bypass a lot of enemies. And obviously at Soul Level 1, if you can slip by, that's usually a pretty good option since we lack the health of higher level characters. And so I did kill that guy. Just kind of felt like it. You can sleep in that coffin by him if you want to be a Grave Lord. But here's our real target. And this club at 10 humanity doing a ton of damage, but there's our skull lantern. So we're gonna head over and trade that with Snuggly here. Now the last thing you can do, if you'd like, if you want, you can jump down here, and there's a chance to get the Black Knight Great Axe. Which, again, if you want to go, into a strength build later with this character, you can go ahead and do that, have the axe. I didn't get it, but there's a chance you can, and there's a Soul of a Proud Knight here as well. But here we are back at Snuggly, who's off to the side here at the asylum, of course. And go ahead, drop your skull lantern right on him, exit out, and come back. You'll find the Ring of Fog waiting for you. And so we'll do a little test here. This is another good ring to fill that empty slot. You could use this instead of the wolf ring on our light armor build. But as you can see here, I'm just kind of testing the range. And you can get pretty close. It's not as powerful as the Hidden Body sorcery, but it's still pretty strong. You can see here about it's about a 60 or 70% reduction in sight range. So pretty significant. It also affects how long enemies will chase you. You'll lose aggro quicker. And so here we are continuing the story. Since this build is pretty much finished out at this point, now that we have the Ring of Fog, we're pretty much done. We pretty much have everything. Except the Chaos Pyromancies, which all take up 2 slots anyways, and I don't really like them, but you can get those through the Chaos Covenant if you'd like. Just give them 30 humanity. But there we go, using the skull to draw out the enemies. I get in a tight spot here where I get hit at the same time by those two things. That shouldn't happen very often. That's pretty rare, but made it through anyways. Just keep your shield up, keep running. One reason I threw that skull is because there is a guy off to the left who can see you, and he can do a jump attack, hit you in the back. Don't want that. So the skull is actually pretty helpful. Now, I'm going to show you guys my successful run here of the shortcut to the Duke's Archives. A lot of you guys have probably gone through the normal way, and so rather than kind of recap just the normal way to go through, I'm going to show you guys the cool way. And the much faster way. This will save you about an hour. Now, I'm making it look a lot easier than it is. Again, I'm showing you my successful run here, but there are a couple things that can go wrong. For example, if you go too fast, then that's going to happen. You don't make it on top of the railing. But if you go too slow, then that can happen as well, and you don't land and you fall too far. Now, I was trying to quit out there while I was falling. The reason you would want to do that, if you can manage it, prepare to fall, because if you quit out, you won't actually die. It'll pop you out back up here. And you can do another attempt and don't have to make the run again, worry about losing your souls, that sort of thing. But that's the way to do it. Just watch that footage and just kind of pay attention to exactly what I do, when I choose to run, when I choose to walk, when I choose to roll. And you guys should be able to get it pretty easy. If not, just progress normally, and that's pretty much all there is to it, but will pick up with me at this point right here. And we're gonna run along to get to Seath here. Blue chunk, don't really need that. We can get the Channeler set, which we can use to get some fancy armor if you want. That's another pretty stylish set you can use. Now, that key, we can use that to open the cell with a Firekeeper soul in this area. We don't really need another Firekeeper soul, but having a +4 is guaranteed to heal us no matter how little health we have. At +3 we can still use an Estus if we have like a sliver of health and not get to full health. So +4 is guaranteed. I did a cut there because I wanted to do this in style and human form. So running down through Crystal Caves, again, if you're trying to do a Soul Level 1 character, you probably have done all this, you know how to get through here normally. But just in case, just look for those little sparkles that drop down. They'll hit the path, the invisible path, and you can see them. I tried to use an alluring skull here. You could probably pull it off if you do it from farther away, but not necessary. Seath is going to come down here, and the reason it's not necessary is because you can just quit out here, and it'll put you outside the fog. The reason you want to do that is because those clams actually follow you into the boss fight room, and you'll have to fight them. And so it's a huge pain to have to fight them and avoid Seath at the same time. So I would definitely recommend quitting out there and just coming back in. But other than that, Seath is incredibly easy. Even getting his tail is super easy if you know how to do it, which I am going to do here. So let him get nice and close, bait him into doing his breath attack, and run back and get his tail. Now, I'm doing a terrible job of this, but basically you want to hit him where his tail, where the crystals on his tail end. At least that far is where you want to hit him. And once you have his tail, it's pretty easy from there on out. You can get some pretty good damage running in and getting that run attack on his center mass, but mostly what you're going to want to do is just stick on his tail, his left tail from his perspective, and just smash on it. just kind of hang out right here, and nothing he does can really hit you. He has one attack that fills the room with crystals in a big circle, but the way his AI works, he's never really going to do it if you just stick on this tail. I'm doing kind of a bad job of it, but you want to wait for the tail to kind of swing at you. But as you can see here, pretty straightforward, and that's going to do it. But with seat down, go ahead and have yourself a little snack over here. Nom 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 nom. Nom 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 nom. Now we're gonna go ahead and grab that Firekeeper soul. Gonna show you guys how to do that, but bear in mind, this area can be kind of hard. You got archers and the soldiers and the channelers on you, so I'll show you guys how to proceed a little more cautiously. I'm kind of messing around with the corner here, trying to get a leap attack through the wall. Wasn't really working. I actually got headshot there by that archer. It did quite a bit of damage. I believe it was a headshot. It did a lot of damage for a regular hit, I'll tell you that much. But you're going to want to stick at least to leap attacks and pyromancies mostly right there. Gives you a good chance to hit both of them since they tend to bunch up. This guy you can lure down, because that way the channeler won't see you if you lure him down a ways. You can be sure you're safe from him. And again, same thing here, luring him down out of the range of the channeler. Now there's that archer there, so you want to be kind of careful. Head up to the right here on the stairs. Hug the railing as much as you can here. It will protect you from the channeler's shots. This is another enemy it'd be safest to lure down, but I decided to just use the backstab invincibility frames to save me there. I ended up getting hit in the back, and there's another soldier around here. But we can survive a channeler hit pretty well. Now, out here is another channeler. That's something to watch out for. So what I'm doing here is I throw a luring skull to distract that archer, so I don't have to worry about getting shot in the back. And we're going to run up to this guy real quick before we really have a chance to get attacked by the other channeler. I was checking for the trident drop, didn't get it. But you're going to want to use those pillars there to your advantage. Try to put a pillar between you and that channeler. This door is open. It normally only opens from the inside. But after you defeat Seif, all of the doors in Duke's archives open up automatically. And now I kill this guy and grab the key. That's a mistake. You shouldn't do that, actually. The problem is that picking up that key is what triggers this cutscene and triggers all of the mutated handmaidens to come and get you. And so these guys, I mean, whatever, just kind of a standard shield and attack, bait them into attacking, open up, it opens up your window to attack. I would recommend fireballs for these guys. You can stay ranged, because one thing to watch out for is they have a very nasty grab attack, actually. There's that one at close range, and then also they have a pretty long range grab there. Now, it's not enough to one-shot you with this armor, so you are safe in that sense where they can't just kill you outright. But you are going to want to stay healed, and if you do heal, get a pillar between you and them. And that's actually a good way to fight them, as you saw there. Put a pillar between the two of you, and use a combustion-style pyromancy. You can lure that first serpent down pretty easily. Just take a couple steps out, he'll see you, no one else will. And then other than that, just clean up those guys, turn off the alarm. And this is the key that you normally need to open that door. But, of course, it's already open for us. There's a couple more of these ones. They just sit there and cry because they still have some of their memories from when they were handmaidens. But they're not hostile. They drop a couple miracles, and there's the last Firekeeper soul we'll ever really need. And that's going to be it for today. As you can see here, I'm upgrading Divine Battle Axe, so maybe that gives you a hint of where we're going next with this. But yeah, our build is finished, guys. You guys can go out and do your PvP, do what you gotta do. But I'm going to continue on with this. We're going to finish out the rest of the story. And I'll see you guys next time. As always, like and favorite the video and share it, best of all, if you want to support the series. And I'll see you guys next time.